Hare Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivartikacharya Ashtottara Shata Sri Srimati Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya BBT Founder Acharya Savior of the whole world Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivartikacharya Ashtottara Shata Sri Srimati Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा गोविंद की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की श्री श्री गौर निताय की श्री उपदेशामृत की श्री रूप गोस्वामी पाद की हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatani Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Galamiham Datati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Gita Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our 7th and second last sitting of Bhakti Shastri, the Nectar of Instruction book. Are all 23 students here of Bhakti Shastri? Raise your hand. Who will count?
Right now only 20 left. We left last time.
Left where?
They went to other places.
Achha.
20
Okay, fine. Okay, so we will begin 7th text, but before that, some recollection of the morning, 6th verse, 5th and 6th. Without seeing your notes, preferably.
Investness causes one to fall off from the position of parameters.
Hmm?
Investness causes one to fall from the position of parameters.
Envy is very dangerous. That only leads to offenses. Yes.
Consciousness directed to material enjoyment leads to material consciousness. And
Not leads to, that is material consciousness.
And consciousness serving Krishna is Krishna consciousness.
How that echo is coming? But both the mics are on. Okay.
real favor of his spiritual master is nectarian word. The words is coming out from his lotus place.
The favor of the spiritual master can be obtained through no other organ but the ears. Vani Seva. Yes.
Vaishnavas are preached, then Gurus are preached, and Gurus are preached, and
Lord Krishna is preached.
So serving Vaishnavas is the sum and substance. This Madhyamadikari is quite clear and convinced of.
Before accepting a spiritual master, we should be following these instructions.
And after accepting, I'm liberated. So after accepting,
We should follow.
all the more we should follow. Yes.
Vaishnava Prad is Athimata Prad, bad elephant Prad, which can remove one from the association, take away his bhakti.
Mad elephant aparadh is not that you have offended mad elephant, but that is compared to mad elephant entering in nicely trimmed garden of bhakti, where bhakti lata is growing. Yes. Okay, let him say. So who is chairman after all? Here only 3 chairmen are there. 2 chairmen, 1 chairwoman. Apart from me being the chairman, big chairman, another chairman and chairwoman. So I have to respect the two.
You told that for neophyte devotees, they should actually hear the spiritual master, and they should not try to go close to the deity and the spiritual master. Otherwise, they may offend by seeing through material vision the spiritual master.
Fire, deities and spiritual master. One should keep safe distance from. Especially with spiritual master because of material vision. One who has spiritual vision of the spiritual master, he, as much as he goes closer to the spiritual master, that much he will progress, flourish in spiritual life.
Madhyamadikaris can distinguish between devotees and non-devotees and devotees and the Lord.
Yes.
serving devotee is better than serving deity.
That is the understanding and conviction of Madhyamadikari. Kanishthadikari doesn't think like that. For him, deity worship is most important. Vaishnavas, he doesn't worry so much. As he makes progress from Kanishta to Madhyam, his appreciation for devotees increases. And when he becomes Madhyama, by that time he is very clear. Serving devotees is most important, at least more important than serving the Lord. You all might have heard the story of Kanchipurna, isn't it? He was serving Lord Varadraj. He was very close to the Lord. In fact, Lord in the deity form is there, and he had the chamar. From a distance, he would wave the chamar fan for the Lord. And he would talk to the Lord. So, how are you, Lord? What is happening? Like friends, very close. So then devotees knew that Kanchipurna is so close to the Lord. So they, whatever they wanted to ask the Lord, they would tell Kanchipurna, please ask my this question, my that thing, how this will happen, how that will happen. So he would ask Lord, that devotee, so and so, is asking this. So what to do? So the Lord would tell, you tell him something like this. Then Kanchipurna would tell, Lord told this. So that devotee say, thank you for getting the message from the Lord. Like that all the devotees would tell. So then one devotee asked the Lord, when I go back to Godhead? In this life I will go or not? So he asked, Lord, will that devotee go back to Godhead in this life? Lord said, yeah, he will definitely go back to Godhead. Tell him. So then Kanchipurna told him, Lord told you will go back to Godhead in this very life. So he was very happy. He said, thank you very much. So then Kanchipurna got a question, whether I will go back to Godhead in this life or not. So he asked, oh Lord, what about me? Now is the question first time from his side. Oh Lord, what about me? Will I go back to Godhead? He said, no, you will not go in this life. Why Lord? I am serving you. He said, no, serving me, you cannot go back to Godhead. If you serve my devotees and please them, then you can go back to Godhead. He said, then what am I doing here? He kept the chamar there. He left. And he was thinking, where can I serve Vaishnava? Because these Vaishnavas will not allow me here in Kanchipura. because they all know I am so close to the Lord. I am the via medium, no? It's like directly Guru only and direct communication. So then he thought I will go a little far. So he went far, far, far. Some very far off place, there was one Vaishnava. So he went, changed his clothes and all, simple kind of dress, and said, could you give me some service? And that devotee said, yes. He had some, something he had. He said, serve these animals. So he was serving them, kept on serving around 6 months and all. And he asked that devotee, are you satisfied, happy? He said, I am very happy with your service. So then Kanchipurna understood. Then Kanchipurna came back after 6 months or something. Then he again went with Chamar. Lord, now what? Will I go back to Godhead or not? Lord said, yeah, now we'll definitely go back to Godhead. 100% confirm. Because you have served and pleased my devotee. Done. Now you don't worry. You understand? You are serving directly so closely. How many of us are taking Chamar and whole day standing here doing Chamar? We are not doing so. We are not so close. And Lord told him, you cannot go back. You have to serve my devotees. So this is also substantiating that line of Narottam Das Thakur Mahasaya. Chhadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistar Paiche Ke Aba. How will you be delivered if you give up serving devotees? You have to, must serve devotees. Serving devotees is more important than serving the Lord. Not that we neglect the Lord, we hate the Lord. No, we love Him. But service to Vaishnava. That's why Name Ruchi Vaishnava Seva. Not Archa Vigraha Seva and all. Name Ruchi. Whenever holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Anytime Naam you hear, immediately Ruchi. There should be test, TST test. You should feel fond, love for holy name. And whenever Vaishnava you see anywhere, immediately thought should be how to serve him. Some way or the other, according to time, place, circumstances. Think of how to serve him. And anytime you find any jiva, immediately Daya. Name Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jiv Daya. This is the sum and substance of all our devotional practices. This is what should be the goal. Nam Ruchi, Vaishnava Seva, Jiv Daya. If you have reached this level, and if this is what you are doing 24/7, you are already pure devotee. Or you are going back to God, it is confirmed. Yes.
One should overlook the defects of a pure devotee, and this can be avoided only when he
Which
is
kind of defects?
bodily defects.
Mainly bodily defects. Certainly gross body, and in that subtle body also is there. Subtle body, sometimes it may appear that the pure devotee is committing mistakes. It's like mind, we call in our language absent-mindedness. So something like that, he forgetful. Similarly, how he is forgetful? He remembers Krishna 24 hours. How can he forget the things of this world? So he will commit mistake. Like some pure devotee spiritual master, his plane ticket is booked and he is given that plane ticket. And now he is not remembering where is my ticket. He is asking all the disciples around him, hey, did you see my ticket? I said, no, Maharaj, I did not see. What about you? Did you see my ticket? No. So Maharaj, did you give someone ticket? No, it was with me. But I don't know where I kept it. All the disciples, Maharaj, you only kept, and you don't know now, you are asking us. So you understand, you will commit mistake, you will commit offense. Thinking, he is forgetful. He doesn't remember. He only kept the ticket. He should remember, na? Where it is. At least, okay, chalo, at least he should search and he should find it out. Why is he not able to find it out? So, or sometimes he may reach late for the plane and the plane is gone. Some 30,000-40,000 rupees is gone or something like that. And what is this? So like that we should not think. We have to, even the mind, so to say, it may appear to be committing some mistake, but it is not the mistake. I was hearing just while taking lunch for Saturday morning, His Holiness Sundarshyam Maharaj, when this question was asked to him, he said, I will tell you one story. This was a lecture in Russia. Russian translation was going on by His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj, who was earlier Vaidyanath Prabhu. That was his earlier name, but after sannyas, Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj. So he was translating, and Maharaj was telling, I'll tell you one story. That story, famous story of Krishna does not go to Duryodhana's house for taking food, but he goes to Vidura's house, and Vidur is not there, his wife is there. When Krishna comes, she is confused. What to do? We are poor. We don't have enough resources. So somehow she gave a small mat to the Lord. Lord sat, and what to feed the Lord? There is nothing in the house except bananas. She brought bananas. She peeled bananas, and she was throwing the pulp, the banana, and she was offering the pills. And Lord was taking, and he was eating. One after other, she would peel the banana, throw the banana, give the pill, and Lord was eating. Going on. So after some time, Vidurji came, and when he entered in the house, he was surprised. Oh, Lord is in my house. Hari Bol, so nice. But then what is that? My wife is feeding him, but not the bananas. Bananas are lying on the ground, and all the pills are invisible. One pill wife is handing over, one pill is in Krishna's hand, and one pill is going inside his mouth, and he is about to eat the next pill. Then he became angry. He said, "You foolish lady, do you have brain? Nonsense. What are you feeding?" So she came out of her trance. So who's that shouting? My husband only. What happened? Why is he so angry? And then she understood what is he speaking about feeding the Lord. Then she understood in her hand peel is there, in Lord's hand another peel is there, and he is eating peel, and all bananas are lying there, and no peels visible. She said, "My God, how did I do this mistake?" So is she pure devotee or not? Any doubt? No, she is pure devotee. But is she committing mistake or not from material point of view? She is. Instead of feeding bananas, she is feeding. And like if you are fed pills, how will you like? मेरा पेट भरा हुआ है अत्यार हो चुका है वो सेकेंड वर्ष का तो सॉरी अभी मैं उत्साह नहीं है मेरे आप ही रखिए so but Lord was given the topmost person so this I like that example today morning he given so that pure devotee may commit mistake from the material viewpoint but it is not a mistake at all from Krishna's point of view from spiritual point of view so that's why we should not criticize or see faults in a pure devotee. Yes. Any other?
Pride comes before build
Before?
up.
Filled up nahi. Fall down. Fall. Pride comes before a fall. That is the saying. So pride in itself is fall down. Which one? Subtle fall down. And what follows is gross fall down. Like that. Yes.
That spiritual master or your devotees are not subject to disciplinary action to advise without.
Yes. If at all he asks for your advice, in a very humble manner, glorify him. Gurudev, you only know everything. Or Maharaj, you have spent so many years, you know better than me. Like sometimes Radheshampur has asked my advice. So I give carefully. I have used all this language. I said, Radheshampur, what can I tell you? When I was a college student, you only preached to me. You only taught me so many things. But because you are asking, in my humble opinion, you should, you may do like this. Because he asked me, what should I do? Directly he asked me, in a particular case. So then but I glorified him and I very carefully said, in my suggestion. And I was very detached whether he accepts the suggestion or not. Because he is senior, whatever he wants, he will do. And he is not supposed to accept my advice. He may ask my advice, but he may not accept. I should not be attached to that. That is foolishness.
Like a person who is chanting the holy name and may commit some mistakes, but still he is considered to be a sadhu.
Api cheta suduracharo bhajate mam ananyabhav. Not that he is considered sadhu by committing, a very abominable activity. If he is continuing with his devotional activities, so that is considered as momentary fall down or unpremeditated fall down or accidental fall down. Just like while walking, all of us are walking for Harinam Sankirtan. One devotee slipped like that and he fell down. And somehow after 2, 3, 5 minutes, again he stood up and continues Harinam Sankirtan. So it's like that. Then we feel sympathy for him or not? Yes, we feel, oh, he slipped. Oh, bro, is it okay? No, what they call? Sprain or something? Should I use what they call? Spray? No, it's okay, bro. Just little bit. So, we feel compassion, we feel sympathy for him. Not that we all laugh, "Hey, kya hai?" And then we don't say, "No, bro, get out of Harinam Sankirtan, you are disqualified." No, he's eager. He's eager. And it's not that he came on the road to fall down, slip. It just happened somehow. Maybe he was a little inattentive, whatever it is. So he's qualified. Yes. Next verse, Lord says, Shipram hi bhavati dharmatma shashvas shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashati. Shipram, very quickly, Shipram hi bhavati dharmatma, he will become dharmatma. अभी temporarily थोड़ा सा ये हो गया, mind maybe he went through some gross fall down, and then mind may be contaminated, but he is going on Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Oh Lord, please, I fell down. What a nonsense I am. Why did I go to that place? He did not go to that place to fall down, but he did not know. So he may curse himself that why did I go to that place? No, it's not. He did not know. If he knew that such kind of things are going to happen, he would not have gone. It was all just a momentary fall down. So then, Chipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashvas Shantim Nigacchati. He will have lasting peace. Kaunteya Pratijanita. Oh Arjuna, you please declare it boldly, like my devotee never perishes. He is my devotee. I consider him to be a sadhu. Like, yes.
The Swami title is the monopoly of pure devotees, and anyone who is able to
Monopoly.
anyone who is able to control his senses, he can be called a Swami. Not that he's coming in that Nityananda, Moksha, or Advaita, Prabhu, so then only he is a Swami.
Yes. And on the other side, devotee who is also from foreign country or whatever is given the title of Goswami. He should not be proud that I am a Goswami. He should be humble only. Any other?
Essence of initiation means Siksha, not beats and chana.
Essence of Diksha is Shiksha. Ever since I heard this sentence, I was so ecstatic. Very nicely, perfect explanation. It is not definition, it is an explanation. What is Diksha? Essence of Diksha is Shiksha. The one who gives up Shiksha, he is not a disciple. I think I told about Prabhupada, whose disciple took initiation, next day started breaking regulative principle. Prabhupada said he is not my disciple. I did not initiate. No, he is not my disciple. Because he did not take Shiksha seriously. So what's the use of sitting in Diksha and taking beads, taking name, and doing Swaha and whatever?
One should go to Dham to hear from pure devotees and get revealed about the Dham, not to just only bathe on Ganges and remove all the scenes.
Sightseeing.
Like neophytes, they go to Dham just to bath in the Ganges and just think that all my sins are now gone. So one should go and hear from pure devotees.
Yes. Gaura Maharaje Sabasthane Korilo Brahmana Range Se Sabasthane Heribami Pranai Bhakata Sange. Wherever my Lord Gaura went, all over India, wherever he went, Gaura Maharaje Sabasthane Korilo Brahmana Range. He went wherever he went. Se Sabasthane Heribami. I will also go to all those holy places. But Pranai Bhakata Sange, with the loving devotees of Lord Gaura, like that. So not just like that. Otherwise, Tirthayatra Parishram Kevala Manera Bhram. You should memorize this. You can say Tirthayatra Parishrama Kevala Manera Bhrama. Keep repeating afterwards, after the class. Because otherwise we have a lot of wandering. Mind is wandering. Subtle body, then gross body wants to wander. चलो इधर चलो उधर चलो इधर चलो उधर चलो, ये देखना है वो देखना है, साइड सीइंग, क्या देखना है, चर्म चक्षु के साथ कुछ नहीं देखा जा सकता. Yes, Madai.
मुझे आज आपने बहुत अच्छे से बताया एक्चुअली दीक्षा क्या है। दीक्षा कंठी माला चेंज, नाम लेना, हरि नाम, चादर और फिस्ट नहीं है। एक्चुअली दीक्षा का अर्थ है कि हम गुरु से ज्ञान प्राप्त करें और उनके प्रति अपना जो सरेंडर है कृष्ण के प्रति वो हम दिखाएं।
Very good. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Never of a spiritual master is obtained through.
That I told, no? In the beginning always, I think, first point. That is done. Next.
Shishyan means very fast, very first.
Correct.
Obeisances, then very fast.
Pay obeisances means respecting the person mainly. And in that, paying obeisances is the best, one of the best ways. And then inquiring how to progress in spiritual life. And then implementing that. Prabhupada is the best example. First time that happened. Second time onwards, always what he asked, how can I serve you, my dear spiritual master? How can I serve you? And whatever way Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur guided, Prabhupada was serving in that way. And much more than that also. Yes.
To the degree.
And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one more thing, Prabhupada also heard Bhaktivinoda Thakur a lot. Though he only would meet 12-13 times so. But apart from that, he would discuss with his god brothers that what are the teachings of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And he would read Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books and he would ask that what is this. He would sit with Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Swami Maharaj and ask, you explain me on this. He would have debates with his god brothers like Bhakti Pragyant Keshav Maharaj. Very powerful, because they were all scholars, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disciples. So Prabhupada would also participate in those debates, friendly debates, to understand, to go deeper in philosophy. So Prabhupada served his Guru very nicely.
You told that if we don't have love for devotees or like some devotee and then we chastise him out of envy, then actually we are bringing about the destruction of our devotional life. So until unless we don't do it out of love to uplift him, we should not do it or not.
Yes. Leaders should be free from envy. Like that. Because otherwise he is leader, so many subordinates under him. He has envy, he will exploit them, he will cheat them, he will do many things, he will criticize them and he will fall down. That's how many leaders fall down also. Because they think, I am leader. मुझे नहीं है डर, कुछ भी करूँ मैं, तो ठीक है. Will not takes him out.
One more point you told that to the degree we are tolerant, that much we are humble.
Whose point was that? His always Bhakti Brihad Bhagavad Maharaj says that. Once I heard from him. More one is, to the degree one is tolerating, to that degree humble. The more one is humble, the more he tolerates.
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says that whoever is not chanting 64 rounds is fallen. So we should not be proud of ourselves, even though we are getting some accomplishment in bhakti.
Yes. None of us can be proud. If you start chanting 64 rounds, then you can be proud. मैंने 2 लड़कों को प्रचार किया, ठीक है. फिर बाद में आपका 64 कंटिन्यू नहीं हो पाएगा. ठीक है.
Seriousness comes by keeping death in front.
In front means मैं अपने authority को सामने रखता हूँ. He is no less than death. बहुत seriousness आएगा. इतना seriousness कि मैं भाग ही जाऊँगा वहाँ से. Yes.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Patita Pavana.
Yes, I think His Holiness, I don't know whether Gaurav Swami Maharaj or somebody says, "Oh Lord, when I hear that you are Bhakta Vatsal, I become very morose and I lose all hope. But when I hear that you are Kripana Vatsal, I become ecstatic. I get so much of hope. Because I am a Kripana, I am a miser. I am not using human body. I have not used human body properly. I have wasted my life, and now also I am wasting my life. So my only hope is that you are Kripana Vatsal. But when I hear that you are Bhakta Vatsal, I am not a devotee. I become morose. See the level. नहीं तो हमारा क्या है और तुम्हारे भक्तजनों में हमसे बढ़कर अब भक्त वत्सल है, लेकिन आपके सभी भक्तों में मुझसे बढ़कर कौन है भाई? है क्या कोई माइक कला? आ जाए सामने, उसको परास्त कर लेता हूँ मैं. तो One should be so humble, one should think I am not devotee. But Lord is Krupan Vatsal, I am Krupan. Pakka माझे रूम है. Yes. Brahmana and Krupana, Prabhupada defines in the second chapter. Yo ekad asmal lokan something like that. Gargi, discussion with Gargi. Yes.
Even an Uttam Adhikari can fall down if he even criticize the Tanishq Adhikari, if find faults.
Obviously.
One should choose a Uttam Adhikari as his guru, otherwise he will not be able to get to that stage of Uttam Adhikari.
Yes.
Complete his rounds. Where his Madhyamodhikari chants to get released the chanting.
Not to get to relish the chant. He relishes chanting as such. He chants very nicely.
Prabhupada is always in two places. One in his books and second in the heart of his sincere followers.
Good. That means in essence, Grantha Bhagavad and Bhakti Bhagavad. He is in those two places. Yes.
Madhyamodhikari may fall short of knowledge in debate, but his faith is unshakable. But Uttamadhikari is both, like he is unshakable and his knowledge is also powerful.
Yes, this is all you will find in 11th canto. So the faith of the Kanishtadhikari is very soft. Yahara Komala Shraddha se Kanishtajan. Krame Krame Sega Bhaktam Hoi Ve Uttam. His faith is very soft, pliable. Whereas Madhyamadhikari's faith is very nice, very deep. And Uttamadhikari also. The knowledge of Kanishtadhikari is very less. He doesn't understand who is devotee, who is non-devotee. Can't understand. Madhyamadhikari understands everything well. But sometimes in very fierce debate with some very scholarly Mayavadi or something, he may lose the debate. He may not be able to offer conclusive statements from the scriptures. But Uttamadhikari can offer that also. He can defeat others.
One should take one responsibility to advance in just like in your height, to take responsibility.
To advance in his spiritual life.
Everybody has to fly. You don't play. We take help of devotee sangha, but still you are on your own. All the birds flying together, that geese, they have V formation, they are all flying. It looks very nice and they get strength also. Sange Shakti Kali Yugi. From association we get strength. But one has to flap the wings. Any bird stops flapping, just keeps like this, free landing. Will fall on the ground. He has to keep flapping also. Get strength by seeing others are also there. But he has to keep flapping the wings also. Yes. Maybe last 2 points.
We shouldn't imitate Uttamadhikaris. We have to follow his instruction, because the instruction he gives the instruction upon our level. He will never give instruction upon his level.
Just like about Krishna or any Lord also, it is said that in his words, instructions and his actions, we should follow his words, his instructions. Like Krishna doing Ras Leela, Krishna lifting Govardhan, Krishna stealing butter. So you cannot imitate all these actions, but you have to follow his words. Where are they given? Bhagavad Gita maybe, or Uddhav Gita also. So those words, instructions should be followed. Yes, last point.
One can distinguish between neophyte and advanced devotees based on their activities.
Okay. So just to summarize the last verse, 6th verse, around 7 things are told there. We should not do that mistake with a pure devotee. One thing is, by seeing his diseased, deformed body and all, one should not consider him to be whatever, lowly and all that. One should know body, he himself does not think of his being body. So why should we see some faults based on his body? He has deformed body, diseased body, infirm body, whatever the word. So that first. Second, his birth in a low family. He might have been born somewhere, maybe not in India, maybe in Shudra family, butcher's family. A mother devotee says, that aho vat shwapacho to garyan yajjibhagre vartate nam tubhyam te pustapas juhu shashnurarya brahmanu nam grananti yete. Aho vat shwapacho ato garyan. Somebody was born in shwapach. Shwa means dog. One who eats the dogs और उसको पचाता है वो श्वपच. डॉग खा के उसको पचाने वाला ऐसा फैमिली में जन्म हुआ है. अहो पत स्वपचो अतो गरियान, but he is glorious. अहो पत स्वपचो अतो गरियान यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम. At the tip of his tongue there is always the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So one cannot say that Swapach family say no question. His tongue is decorated with the holy name. Tepus tapas juhu shashnurarya. He has done all the other activities. Tap, all the austerities in the previous life only. Juhu shashnurarya, taking bath in all the holy places, giving charity, everything is done. Because he has reached the final conclusion of Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, and always tongue is decorated with holy name, which even we are not able to have. Even while chanting Hare Krishna, tongue is becoming very heavy. हिल ही नहीं रहा वो, जैसे माउंट एवरेस्ट को हिलाने के समय टंग हिलता ही नहीं. अरे मौनी बाबा. So much difficulty we have. So pure devotee cannot be. Tepus tapas juhu shashnararya brahmanuchur nama grananti yete. Those are always taking the holy name. So he is born in a low family, Swapach family or any. And Bhagavatam also decided Kirata hunandra pulinda pulkasha abhira shumbhaya vanakashadaya yanne papacha yadapashraya shraya shuddhanti tasmai prabha vishnave namah. That one is Kirat, Puna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkash, Abir, Shumba, Yavana, Khasha, Adayah, etc. क्योंकि कितने रेसेस के नाम लेंगे, ये सब पूरा दुनिया कवर हो जाता है. मंगोलियंस, चाइनीज, जापानीज, रशियन, यूरोपियंस, अमेरिकन्स, इंडियंस. किराट, पूना, आंध्र, पुलिंदा, पुलकश, आबिर, शुम्ब. Prabhupada gives the whole thing. Who is Abir? Who is this? Who is that? All the details he gives, all the from different races from the world. The racial discrimination, but the racial thing. Yannecha Papa Yadapa Shrasha. If they take shelter of the devotees of the Lord of Krishna, devotees of Lord Krishna, who is supreme power. So just by taking shelter of a devotee, one gets delivered. So Juhu Shashnuraya. So that is second. Then third is seeing him from a materialistic point of view. So we should not do that with pure devotee. Fourth is being jealous of a pure devotee. That 11th canto Uddhav Krishna tells that Acharya Mam Vijaniyam na avamanneta karhiche. Never disrespect an Acharya. Then na avamanneta karhiche. Na martya buddhi asuyeta. Don't have mundane mentality, mundane vision towards a pure devotee. Na martya buddhi. This buddhi of this material world, martya lok. Na martya buddhi asuyeta. Do not be envious of a pure devotee. If you have materialistic vision towards a pure devotee, you will be envious. अरे ये क्या महाराज के लिए एसी कार आते हैं, क्या ये जाना है स्टेशन, 10 गृहस्थ लोग अपना एसी कार लेके आ गए और उनका फाइट चल रहा है कि महाराज मेरे कार में मेरे कार. अब मुझे जाना है स्टेशन तो एक भी गृहस्थ नहीं आता. और मेरा ऑथोरिटी इधर बोलता है कि प्रभु कैसे जा रहे हो, चल के क्यों नहीं जाते. या ऐसा करो फिर ऑटो के पीछे भाग के जाओ, पैसा बचेगा. ये क्या है. तो बिकॉज इसका मंडन मेंटालिटी है, सो ही इज ऑफेंडिंग हिज गुरु आल्सो एंड ही इज having that materialistic vision. So he is jealous of his future master. There are 3 types of disciples: Guru Bhogi, Guru Tyagi, and Guru Sevi. So Guru Tyagi means he gives up Guru only after initiation, like that disciple of Prabhupada. One example we saw. Guru Bhogi, अरे हमारे गुरु तो एकदम इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवलर है, इनका पर्सनल असिस्टेंट बन जाता हूँ सर्वेंट, पूरा दुनिया घूम के हो जाएगा. और कहीं कोई मिल जाएगी अमेरिकन माताजी, नहीं माताजी नहीं, वाइफ लेडी, तो अच्छा हो जाएगा. चलो वीज़ा वगैरह भी मिल जाएगा तो अच्छा है. तो गुरु भोगी, गुरु का भोग कर रहा है वो, सेवा नहीं. तो गुरु सेवी इज लाइक ईश्वर पुरी. दैट इज परफेक्ट एग्जाम्पल. So we should be like Ishwarpuri. So one should not be jealous. Fifth, one should not apply any disciplinary action on Guru. You cannot tell that, Guru Maharaj, you cannot sit here. It's our rule of the temple that nobody sits here. You rascal, this is not applicable for Guru. Maybe for other devotees it is okay. But for Guru you cannot say like that. And to advise him, that is also not proper. And to correct him, this is also not good. So okay, we saw the sixth one. Now seventh one is talking about destroying ignorance and cultivation of a taste for Krishna's holy name. Two things are discussed in this. Avidya, Sitapti Vidya, and then test for Krishna's holy name. So please repeat after me. Sat Krishna Nama Charita Disitapya Vidya Pitto Pataptara Sanasya Narochikanu Kintvadarādanu Dinam Khalu Saiva Jushta Sadvi Kramat Bhavati Tadgada Mula Hantri. So he's saying Sat Krishna Nama Charita Adi. The holy name, character, pastimes and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. So Sita is sugar candy. It is sweet. All Krishna name, fame, qualities, pastime, they are all transcendental. They are sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet. So that is pitta upatapta rasanasya. Rasana means tongue. Pitta. In one whose body pitta increases, bile, then one develops jaundice disease, pilia. How many of you had got pilia, jaundice? The body becomes yellow, eyes become yellowish, nails become yellowish, and one doesn't have taste for food. Because pitta has aggravated in the body. So the doctors, Vaidya will give medicine by which pitta will go down, will become normal. Then one can relish. And one of the best medicines is sugar juice, sugarcane juice. So pitta upatapta rasanasya na rochikanu. And what is this pitta increasing? That is avidya, ignorance. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, kintu adarat anudinam, kintu lekin, but adarat, with respect, one chants anudinam every day. So if it does like that, then what happens? Simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue. Swadvi kramat, swadu, swad, kramat, steadfast, swad develops. He starts relishing. The sweetness is relished, is experienced. Awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Avidya is destroyed just by chanting holy name also. Swadvi kramat bhavati tadgada mula hantri. And this disease, tadgada mula, at the root, hantri, is destroyed. The holy name, character, pastimes and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So we have to go on chanting despite not having taste. But how to do? That is quantity, anudinam, and the quality is adarat. That's why we hear the glories of the holy name. Especially by reading Srila Prabhupada books, we will get so much of inspiration to chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada himself asked his disciple, why did I write all these books? So one disciple said, Prabhupada, for distribution. Very happily he said. Prabhupada said, no. Prabhupada, for getting money for our ISKCON. 11 रुपए का किताब 15 रुपए में बेचो, 4 रुपए मिल गए extra. Like that. You distribute thousands of books, will get 5-10,000 extra. So Prabhupada said no. Somebody said to engage your passionate American European disciple. Prabhupada said no. No matter what they answered, no only. So then they were all wondering, what is the answer? Why did Prabhupada write the book? Prabhupada only explained. I wrote these books to inspire all the people in the world to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So, founder Acharya, the writer of the books only, has given the secret that if you want inspiration in chanting Hare Krishna, you must read my books. Just see next 1 month. This is 10th of April coming tomorrow. So 10th April to 10th May, you just read Prabhupada books daily for 1 hour minimum with sincerity and see how the quality of your chanting improves. You can clearly see improvement in the quality of chanting. You being able to relish the holy name. Clear. Because that is Sambandha Gyan. When Sambandha Gyan is very strong, Abhideya becomes very strong. Chanting is part of Abhideya. So unless Sambandha Gyan, the foundation is strong, the building of Abhideya won't be strong. So see yourself by reading through these books. Purport. The holy name of Lord Krishna, his quality, pastimes and so forth are all of the nature of absolute truth, beauty and bliss. Naturally they are very sweet like sugar candy, which appeals to everyone. The science, however, is compared to the disease called jaundice, which is caused by bilious secretions, that means bile increasing in the body. Attacked by jaundice, the tongue of a diseased person cannot palatably relish sugar candy. Rather, a person with jaundice considers something sweet to taste very bitter. Avidya, ignorance, similarly perverts the ability to relish the transcendentally palatable name, quality, form, and pastimes of Krishna. Despite this disease, if one, with great care and attention, takes to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastimes, his ignorance will be destroyed and his tongue enabled to taste the sweetness of the transcendental nature of Krishna and his paraphernalia. You may underline the next line. Such a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by the regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness. So here Prabhupada is recommending chanting the holy name and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastime. One devotee was asking me that we should not hear Krishna Katha, Krishna's pastime. I said, no, who told you? He said, no, we have heard we should not hear. I said, only that is for Rasa Panchadhyay, 5 chapters in Bhagavatam, which talk about Ras Leela, something like 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 of 10th canto. But all other, Prabhupada wrote, he stopped his Bhagavatam translation and he took up this summary study of 10th canto in the form of Krishna book. So it is for all of us. In fact, we are distributing in thousands these books to outsiders. If they go in their house, they will also read. So how can ISKCON devotees not read Krishna book? In fact, it's a custom in the earlier days of ISKCON, Prabhupada's time, that all the devotees, especially brahmacharis and all, in the night before sleeping, they would drink milk and one devotee would read Krishna book. Half an hour, they are hearing Krishna Katha while drinking milk. And then they go to sleep with all nice dreams of Krishna. So it's a compulsory, every night half an hour ideally we should read Krishna book. Not that we should not hear Krishna's pastime. We must hear Krishna's pastime. And directly from pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. Then it will, natural relish will awaken. Sometimes we have to be careful what kind of hearing we are doing. If you are not hearing from pure devotees, sometimes some other kind of guidance only may come that we should not hear Krishna's pastime. Where is it said? I was surprised how somebody says like that. Krishna's pastime. You can see very clearly Prabhupada saying, chanting the holy name and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastime. His ignorance will be destroyed. So that's why hearing from pure devotees is must. Otherwise, sometimes some devotee, for whatever reason, or sometimes we may not be very clear also. Sometimes he might have told not hear those 5 chapters, and we may think that we should not read Krishna book only. I am not supposed to hear Krishna's pastime. If you read Prabhupada books, no doubts, no illusions. But if you don't read, then we will be thinking I should not hear Krishna. So that medicine which will cure us of Bhavaro, we will not be taking only that medicine. 10th canto, 1st chapter, 4th verse says that. Chotra manobhi ramat. What is the beginning? Nivrutta tarse rupagiya manad. Bhavaushadha shrotra manobhi ramat. Ka uttama shloka gunanavada. Puman virajye vina pashugna. Bhavaushadha. This is Bhavaushati. Krishna Katha. In fact, in some 2-3 verses only in 9th canto end, Sukadeva Goswami ended Krishna Lila. Then in the beginning of 10th canto, Parikshit Maharaj asked, no, not so short. You please tell very elaborately. He asked some 16 questions. How long Krishna studied Vrindavan, and in Mathura, and in Dwarka, how many queens he married, and this, that, some 16 questions he asked, beginning first chapter only. And in answer, then 90 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. So we should be very clear, we should not be misguided by our mind or sometimes some senior also. Any question? I am saying question because I have to drink water. I cannot speak now. You may not have question because we have hardly read one paragraph only.
So we'll get by the test of holy name, but what decides the division? Which are diseases will be cured?
It depends on your sincerity, seriousness, and freedom from ulterior motives. How sincere you are in your spiritual practices.
Does it depend on background also? Because you see that some devotees from starting also only they are having some taste for the holy name. They are not.
That is their previous life and all that. But if you take shelter of pure devotee, you can. The cycle man catching truck. He goes with the speed of truck, not cycle. Okay, so ahead. When a man in the material world takes more interest in the materialistic way of life than in Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be in a diseased condition. The normal condition is to remain an eternal servant of the Lord. Jivera Swarupa Hari Krishna Nityadas. This healthy condition is lost when the living entity forgets Krishna due to being attracted by the external features of Krishna's Maya energy. This world of Maya is called Durashraya, which means false or bad shelter. If you wish, you may underline this. That you cannot think that this is the shelter. Your placement in the campus interview, Microsoft, Oracle, Google. Don't feel bad. I am always shooting these companies. आपको लगा प्रभु जी जा नहीं पाए शायद इसलिए शूट कर रहे हैं नहीं आप जा रहे हैं तो मुझे बहुत दुख हो रहा है कि फॉल्स शेल्टर ले रहे हैं तो मैं कैसे अपने आंखों के सामने किसी को आत्महत्या करते हुए कैसे देख सकता हूँ बचाना मेरा कर्तव्य है तो this world of Maya, whole world, not only Microsoft, it's a small world within that big world. The whole world of Maya is called Durashraya, which means false or bad shelter. One who puts his faith in Durashraya becomes a candidate for hoping against hope. हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. Hope against hope. आज नहीं हुआ, कल तो होगा. और कल बोल रहे हैं, आज नहीं हुआ, कल तो होगा. फिर बोलता है दूसरे दिन, आज नहीं हुआ, कल तो होगा. Like if you go to shopkeepers, shops they have there, ना, आज नकद, कल उधार. When you take something from there, नकद दे दो, आज कैश दे दो. और कल जाके आप बोलोगे सर अब आ गया मैं तो आज मुझे उधार दीजिए, बोलेगा नहीं, देखो क्या लिखा है, आज नकद और कल उधार. तो फिर से वो कल जाएगा, बोलेगा नहीं आज नकद कल उधार. तो ऐसे वो उधार कभी मिलने ही वाला नहीं. तो ऐसे है होप अगेंस्ट होप. So don't keep your hope in this material world. In IIT Dhanbad, I told na, this is likely to be agricultural field. Dhanbad agricultural field after 50 or 100 years. If you don't believe in my words, write down somewhere because we may not remain. Myself to never, you also may not remain. And write the hope, future note for future generation. And one of our seniors, Sundarshyam said, this whole IIT Dhanbad campus may get converted to IIT agricultural field. This Dhanbad agricultural field. तो थोड़ा चेक कीजिए और वो सही निकला न्यूज़ तो मुझे वो रिपोर्ट कीजिए. फाइंड आउट वेयर आई एम. अगर मैंने सुंदर श्याम दास के स्टेटमेंट में अगर फेथ रखा होगा तो मैं भी गोलोक वृंदावन पहुंच गया होगा. नहीं रखा होगा तो आपको 14 प्लैनेटरी सिस्टम में ढूंढना पड़ेगा कि मैं कहाँ हूँ, वहाँ इंफॉर्मेशन पास ऑन कीजिए. Never keep faith in anything material. In the material world, everyone is trying to become happy, and although their material attempts are baffled in every way due to their nescience, they cannot understand their mistakes. Moghasho, moghasha, mogha karmano, mogha jnana, vichetasah, rakshasim asurim chaiva. What is the last name? Asurim? Bhavam ashritam. So moghasha, they have these false hopes. Mogha karmano, they are doing all the activities of material, which are all useless. Mogha karmano, mogha jnana, all their knowledge is of no help to take them out of cycle of birth and death. People try to rectify one mistake by making another mistake. You can underline this. Where Prahlad Maharaj says, Dukkha ushadam api dukkha ushadam tadapi dukkham atadhiya. Which some disease is there, you take some medicine, by that bigger disease is caused. Allopathic medicines are the best example of this. You have some disease, you take allopathic medicine, and then that disease is suppressed, symptomatic treatment, and then what happens? Some other, what they call, side effect, allergy, something starts. And then for that the doctor will give you 2 tablets, painkiller. And then after some third problem will start. Then he will give you 4 tablets. And like that, goes on and on and on. Sometimes they do thyroid operation. Whole life you have to take 1 pill every day. Anybody knows? Have you know? Recently one brahmachari's mother underwent thyroid operation. So Sadanand Gaur is in BHU only, Varanasi temple. He's from Andhra Pradesh. So every day that Mataji will have to take 1 pill, every day for whole life, till last date, last breath. What kind of operation is that? This is the way of the struggle for existence in the material world. If one in this condition is advised to take to Krishna consciousness and be happy, he does not accept such instructions. This Krishna consciousness movement is being spread all over the world, and just to remedy this gross ignorance, people in general are misled by blind leaders. The leaders of human society, the politicians, philosophers and scientists are blind because they are not Krishna conscious. According to Bhagavad Gita, because they are bereft of all factual knowledge due to their atheistic way of life, they are actually sinful rascals and are the lowest among men. Krishna only chastising all words, fools, rascals, naradhamas, mayapurta jnana, asuram bhavam ashrikam. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Such people never surrender to Krishna, and they oppose the endeavor of those who wish to take Krishna's shelter. This your hostile boys. Some boys, envious boys. Some innocent boys want to come here, other envious boys will tell, Arey udhar mat jana. बाबा के अड्डे पे आता तो है कि सूरत कल का है, आपके इधर पता नहीं क्या नाम है आपके वॉइस का, वैसे ही कुछ तो हो सकता है. हरे कृष्णा वाले बाज बाल उड़ जाएगा. Okay. When such atheists become leaders of society, the entire atmosphere is surcharged with nescience. In such a condition, people do not become very enthusiastic to receive this Krishna consciousness movement. Just as a diseased person suffering from jaundice does not relish the taste of sugar candy. However, one must know that for jaundice, sugar candy is the only specific medicine. So, you know that sugar candy is the best medicine for decreasing bile, pitta in the body, and that way jaundice will go away. But unfortunately, he doesn't like. Just imagine now this class, everyone is served 1 glass of sugar cane juice. Dude, it will be so sweet. Well, yeah. Holy name is really sweet. Krishna Katha seems to be very sweet. Then they think tomorrow morning during Japa, 2 hours if they could supply sugar candy juice, it will be so nice. I feel holy name is really sweet. So we relish, but we are not given. The diseased person, jaundice person, he is given. And for him it's a big austerity. He says, no, I don't want it. No, take it. Forcibly he is given. And when he starts liking, oh, good, give me more. They say, no, now your disease is gone. No more sugar candy juice. अच्छा, अभी आगे से pretend करना पड़ेगा. उसको formula समझ में आएगा. Similarly, in the present confused state of humanity, Krishna consciousness, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is the only remedy for setting the world aright. Although Krishna consciousness may not be very palatable for a diseased person, Srila Rupa Goswami nonetheless advises that if one wants to be cured of the material disease, he must take to it with great care and attention. One begins his treatment by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because by chanting this holy name of the Lord, a person in the material condition will be relieved from all misconceptions. Chetodarpana Mahajanam. Next to be underlined. Avidya, a misconception about one's spiritual identity, provides the foundation for ahankar or false ego within the heart. So that's why ahankara vimudhatma. Only a fool will become very proud, thinking that maine kiya, ye kiya, wo kiya, maine gaya, kya gaya? Who gave power in your vocal cords? Who provided microphone? So nothing is in our hand. So only one who is in ignorance, that's what he's saying. Avidya, thinking that I am body, I am mind, I am intelligence, false ego, provides the foundation for ahankar. So that's why reading Prabhupada books daily will relieve us of our avidya, and thereby no question of pride, ahankar. You will be very humble if you read Prabhupada books daily, because all your misconception of your own spiritual identity will be removed. The real disease is in the heart. If the mind is cleansed, however, if consciousness is cleansed, a person cannot be harmed by the material disease. To cleanse the mind and heart from all misconceptions, one should take to this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is both easy and beneficial. Is chanting holy name easy? Not easy. How many of you are ready to go to forest to perform meditation? How many of you are ready to do sacrifices, fire sacrifices? Hundreds of liters of ghee out to pour. You have to give a lot of charity to brahmanas. How many of you are ready to construct temples and have elaborate deity worship? How many of you are ready to chant? It is easy, so easy. Hence proved. How Prabhu said it is not easy. It is easy. Prabhupada is saying, no? This is both easy and beneficial. If you go to forest and perform austerities, let's say for next 30 years, till you drop down dead in the forest, will it be beneficial? It will not benefit much. All the time you will be crying, oh अरे वो इसमें अच्छा था, जब करके गुलाब जामुन तो खाता था, यहाँ तो कुछ भी नहीं, जड़ी बूटी भी नहीं. So it is both easy and beneficial. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately freed from the blazing fire of material existence. Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. There are 3 stages in chanting the holy name of the Lord: the offensive stage, Namaparad, the stage of lessening offenses, Namabhas, and the pure stage, Shuddhanam. When a neophyte takes to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, he generally commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses, and if the devotee avoids this, he can glimpse the next stage, which is situated between offensive stage and the pure chanting, that is Namabhas. When one attains the pure stage, he is immediately liberated. This is called Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. As soon as one is liberated from the blazing fire of material existence, he can relish the test of transcendental life. The conclusion is that in order to get free from the material disease, one must take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for creating an atmosphere in which people can take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. One must, so you can see the purpose of ISKCON has come. Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for creating an atmosphere in which people can take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So wherever we go, we should induce people to chant Hare Krishna. We should tell philosophy. And afterwards, just like I was giving that example of Mataji who was sitting in the plane, Shravani Mataji, I gave her a Bhagavad Gita and she was very favorable. She only said, I was thinking of having Bhagavad Gita and you fortunately have one. So then I gave her beats and she took the beats also. Whether chanting or not, that is second, but at least she has the beats. Sometimes when super frustrated in cognizant, she will be cognizant that chanting is the end all and be all. So then she will be chanting Hare Krishna. So we should give holy name to as many people as we could. So that is the purpose of ISKCON. One must begin with faith. So the 9 stages. Shraddha, Ado Shraddha. And when the faith is increased by chanting, a person can become member of the society. We are sending Sankirtan parties all over the world. And they are experiencing that even in the remotest part of the world, where there is no knowledge of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra attracts thousands of men to our camp. Prabhupada wanted to have this, what it called? World Sankirtan Party, no? Yeah. So Prabhupada, the called devotees in Aligarh, his always Giraj Swami Maharaj came, I think from Jew and all. So some others also were called. And it was formed also, but some things happened, and then it did not get actual realized. It did not happen exactly. But Prabhupada had that desire. So even if that is not happening, we should have local Harinam Sankirtan. I think you all go on Sunday also. So that is very good. In some areas, people begin to imitate the devotees by shaving their heads and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra only a few days after hearing the mantra. This may be imitative, but imitation of a good thing is desired. So you saw, shaving head. Somebody was asking in the morning, no? We should not imitate pure devotees. That external shaving head and all, that imitation is okay. Some imitators gradually become interested in being initiated by the spiritual master and offer themselves for initiation. If one is sincere, he is initiated, and this stage is called Bhajana Kriya. So Sadhu Sang Prabhupada explained, but he did not use the word Sadhu Sang. Isn't it? People join us for Sankirtan, they will shave their head. So all Sadhu Sang is covered. Now he's talking about third one, Bhajana Kriya. This stage is called Bhajana Kriya. When initiation happens, one then actually engages in the service of the Lord by regularly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds daily and refraining from illicit sex, intoxicants, meditating and gambling. By Bhajana Kriya, one attains freedom from the contamination of materialistic life. He no longer goes to a restaurant or hotel to taste so-called palatable dishes and made with meat and onions. Nor does he care to smoke or drink tea or coffee. He not only refrains from illicit sex, but avoids sex life entirely. Nor is he interested in wasting his time in speculating or gambling. In this way, it is to be understood that one is becoming cleansed of unwanted things. That is Anartha Nivritti, fourth stage. The word Anartha refers to unwanted things. Anarthas are vanquished when one becomes attached to the Krishna consciousness moment. If you want, you can underline. So, are you attached to ISKCON? है कि नहीं आप आ सकते ISKCON से? कोई उत्तर ही नहीं दे रहा. So if you are attached to ISKCON, Prabhupada said, ISKCON is my body. Body. So if you are attached to Prabhupada's popo in the form of ISKCON, your anathas will be removed. When a person is relieved from unwanted things, he becomes fixed in executing his Krishna activities. Indeed, he becomes attached to such activities and experiences ecstasy in executing. So he said, another thing, he becomes fixed in executing Krishna activities. So what is that stage? Nishtha, fixed, steady. Indeed, he becomes attached to such activities and experiences ecstasy. So ecstasy is? He becomes attached is asakti kind of, and then ecstasy, bhav. It's like little fast forwarded version Prabhupada is telling. Executing devotion. This is called bhav, the preliminary awakening of dormant love of Godhead. Thus, the conditioned soul becomes free from material existence and loses interest in the bodily conception of life, including material opulence, material knowledge, and material attraction to all variety. At such a time, one can understand who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is and what his Maya is. Although Maya may be present, it cannot disturb a devotee once he attains the bhav stage. If you wish, you may underline this. So this is in the advanced stage of bhav. In the preliminary stage also there can be fall down. It is said Bharat Maharaj was in the preliminary stage of bhava bhakti. So there also fall down is possible. But in the advanced stage, Maya cannot disturb him. This is because the devotee can see the real position of Maya. Maya means forgetfulness of Krishna, and forgetfulness of Krishna and Krishna consciousness stand side by side like light and shadow. If one remains in shadow, he cannot enjoy the facilities offered by light. And if one remains in light, he cannot be disturbed by the darkness of shadow. By taking to Krishna consciousness, one gradually becomes liberated and remains in light. Indeed, he does not even touch the darkness. As confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hoya Andakar Jahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Maya Adhikar. Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy will immediately vanish. So, a lot of philosophy Prabhupada has given. So, we went quickly through the whole thing. Basically, 9 stages are told, and avidya and all that is explained. I want to take break up to 3 minutes, and then we'll resume. And after that, we'll take questions. You can ask the questions. Flowing gutters, and then pigs running around from the gutter, and then dogs which are beaten up, their skin is not there, hairs have fallen off, and will commit offenses.
Association of devotees.
We go once in a year, Kartik month, with spiritual master, pure devotees. I said already, Gaurama Rajesavasthani, Pranayi Bhakata Sangha, along with loving devotees before. But we don't go alone, it's very dangerous.
Like here it is written, how it says one cannot come in influence of Maya. In how it says, it doesn't come in influence of Maya. So Uttam Adhikari he is already admonished. So what if, and like if he's chastising anyone or like doing anything, suppose that, so he's under influence of Maya he is doing. So how it can be? That means how like
That's why one has to choose the association. No? He might have chosen some materialistic association, that's why he offended some devotee. And then he falls down. Even not only bhav, from prema stage also he can fall. As long as in this material world, he has to be careful also. But generally speaking, one who has reached bhava, he has crossed Maya. He will not fall down. But he goes to the, now, how did illusion overcome him? By, criticizing devotee. How did that happen? He must have committed some mistake. That mistake cannot be done. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami also in 19th chapter, Rupa Shiksha tells, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, that this Bhakti Lata crosses all the layers of the universe. Universe, all the Brahmalok, everything, then 7 layers, earth, water, air, everything it crosses. It goes to Brahma Jyoti. It crosses that, goes to Vaikuntha, crosses that, goes to Golokundam. And it intertwines the lotus feet of the Lord. Then it produces fruit of love of God. Then the fruit falls from there here in the material world, in the garden. And the gardener can eat it, taste it and relish it. But simultaneously Shravanam Kirtanam should go on. If that stops, Bhakti Lata starts drying up. That means all throughout our existence in the material world, Shravanam Kirtanam cannot stop. So instead of doing Shravanam Kirtanam with other devotees, how did this person criticize some Vaishnava? That means some mistake he has committed, somewhere material association he has taken. That's why he has committed offense. I know a particular preacher, he was having 3 programs per day. And in a week, 7 days, more than 21 programs, Saturday, Sunday, maybe more. And he would chant every day, 64 rounds. He has a wife who is a devotee, but he doesn't eat what he cooks himself. Very tight life and very, so to say, glorious. But then he was associating with some others, some other Babas or something, and he was reading some other books, and then he happened to indirectly criticize Prabhupada in a sense. This is very basic Prabhupada and advanced of his brother Babaji. And because of his all this, he left Krishna conscious practices. He left ISKCON. A very powerful preacher. Can you imagine 3 programs every day? In a week more than 21. He left Krishna conscious, ISKCON. And his guru also rejected him because he denied the shelter of Prabhupada. So guru rejected him. So the danger is always there in this material world, in one sense. Padam padam yat vipadam latesha. But many times it is true, one who has crossed that stage, has reached bhava and all, for him there is no danger. If he is careful. Careful always one has to be. Isn't it? Yes. Behind there. Our heart. Physical heart नहीं. That is like that chitta voice है ना. गुरु मुख पद्मा वाक्य चित्ते ते करिया ऐक्य. Here the Guru Vani in the core of your heart, chitta. That is not like अभी यहाँ ये हार्ट में क्या करके अंदर एक रिकॉर्डिंग सिस्टम लगाओगे मैं कि वो चित्त में गुरुवाणी सुनता रहेगा, नहीं वैसे नहीं. चित्त is something subtle aspect of it. So there you should take the Vani of Guru very seriously. So like that in our heart the disease of avidya is there, ignorance. So that's what Guru what you call removes when we hear his Vani. It's not like physical heart. It's like chitta is little subtle. Understand or no? No. Just like consciousness, where is consciousness in your body? Which part? Like heart is here, physical heart. Eyes are here, ears are here. Where is the consciousness? Brain, huh? And so what here is there is no consciousness. If I pinch here, because there is no consciousness, no problem. Huh? That is consciousness. What? Skin is consciousness. Pinching is consciousness. What? Feeling, yeah. So where is consciousness then in the body? So how means physically where it is located? Veins में है, दो veins के बीच में है. So like that chitta is also. You understand? No? So you cannot just say it is here. It's not like something physical. You understand? Yes.
Heart or mind?
Sometimes they are referred to one and the same, sometimes they are differentiated. Mind is product of goodness. It is the first part of the subtle body. Then still subtler is intelligence and subtlest is the false ego. And but this mind is backed up by false ego. Then it creates problem for the jiva. But if it is separated, then mind is bola wala. It's very nice. And heart is like on spiritual platform it is discussed. But sometimes it is both taken one also. In the context to context it will be different description.
Is hearing and reading same thing?
Yes. Hearing is the, reading, the Prabhupada books are the recorded sound. Prabhupada spoke in dictaphone. The recording was there. It was sent, cassette was sent to some devotee. He heard it and simultaneously typed it. Then somebody else edited it. Then they had proofreading, whatever it is. Then they printed it, maybe again editing. And then they printed it. So it's a recorded sound of Prabhupada.
But original sound vibration has an effect.
Yes.
So,
but here also, here, okay, but it is also powerful. Words of the pure devotee. Like in earlier days, where were the recording systems? Pure devotee comes to village, he speaks, others they hear, and then he goes. Only books would remain if he has written something. And Prabhupada, particularly for Prabhupada, you can see so many times he has emphasized, you should read my books daily, 1 hour, 2 hours like that. But where did he say that you should hear my lectures? Did you ever hear Prabhupada saying?
But in lecture, Prabhupada emphasizes that hearing is very important. Hearing
Yes.
is very important.
So, what His Holiness Radhanand Swami Maharaj does, he reads Prabhupada books very loudly and he hears that. In this way, it is to be understood that one is becoming cleansed of unwanted things, anartha nivritti, is hearing. So he reads very loudly. For last more than 2-3 decades, all his Prabhupada book reading is loud only. He doesn't read in the mind. Because he says, Prabhupada said, hearing is more powerful. So he reads loudly and hears that sound. So he may also do that. Yes.
Prabhuji, like there is one of my friend in college, so I try to preach him by saying that this world is so like dukhalyam, so we have to work so hard for earning money like that. So, but he said that, मतलब परिश्रम करना इस उसी में तो मजा है like it this है ना. So
yeah, you have to step by step preach bro. वो बोलेगा, आप बोलेंगे दुखालय में, वो बोलेगा ये तो पेसिमिस्टिक है. बेचारे का शायद लव अफेयर फ्रस्ट्रेट हो गया होगा, फिर वो वॉइस वालों ने ब्रेन वॉशिंग कर दिया, पता नहीं क्या हो गया, उन्होंने दुखा ले, तो पागल है ये, सुखाला है मैं, खाओ पियो मौज करो। See, they are deep in illusion. जो उसको चढ़ी हुई है शराबी को, आप उसको बोल रहे हैं कि अरे शराब पी के अपना जीवन बर्बाद क्यों है, अरे बोल रहे आबाद हो गया मैं, तू ले ले, स्पॉन्सर करता हूँ मैं। डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म्स है ये, समझ रहे हैं? आपको आपको वो जो बोल रहे हैं आप समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं, आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं। वो स्क्यू प्लेन्स यू नो, इंजीनियरिंग में होता है ना SKEW, कुछ कुछ कंटामिनेशन बचा हुआ है अभी तक, हालांकि 2-3 डिकेड्स हो गए इंजीनियरिंग छोड़ के, इसलिए कुछ कंटामिनेशन बचा हुआ है, बट वी आर प्यूरिफाइंग इट बाय यूजिंग इन द लेक्चर्स। स्क्यू लाइंस, स्क्यू प्लेन्स, isn't it? Do they intersect? No. So like that, तो थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, थोड़ा प्रसाद वगैरह खिलाओ तो अच्छा लगेगा, देन ही कम हियर, नचाओ उसको, तो फिर eventually can preach. You take help of your seniors, take them with you, and they will preach properly. Directly एकदम आप बोलेंगे कि this, directly आप बोलोगे ना कि ये दुखा लैम है, तो you have to prove first what all calamities are happening, you know how this India Pak war or this China earthquakes, all those details you tell, hundreds. Then you can say this is how dukha लैम, आध्यात्मिक, आदि भौतिक, आदि दैविक क्लेश, for each one you give examples. Then उधर कुछ चमकेगा उसको, you understand? Otherwise if you directly tell like that, you know, the pessimistic आदमी ISKCON वाले, they are deep in illusion, not it or not? Yes. Any other?
Prabhupada writes here that if one is sincere, he is initiated, and this stage is called Bhajan Kriya. Bhajan Kriya means he is saying that if one is sincere, he is initiated, and this stage is called Bhajan Kriya. This Bhajan Kriya means like it starts from after initiation only.
It is, see, then it is like your devotee's blessings are also there, he has accepted you and all that. There are different levels, different ways of presenting the same truth. Sometimes Prabhupada is very specific, sometimes he is in a generalized way he speaks. It's not like this is only the way. And then people will say, then those before initiation भजन क्रिया किया नहीं किया हमने, भजन ही तो किया, भजन की तो क्रिया थी वो माला, so that is also भजन क्रिया वहाँ पे. Yes, any other? Just take 2 minutes. No other question?
Would you like it is written like once bhav stage is obtained, so Maya cannot disturb him. But you are saying that one cannot fall down can happen even in a prema stage. How do you understand it?
If one commits offense, why is Mahaprabhu saying that? Jati Vaishnava अपराध उठे हाथी माता, उपाड़े व छंडे तारे, सुखी जाए पाता. लेकिन अगर वैष्णव अपराध करे, which is compared to mad elephant entering in the nicely trimmed garden of bhakti, where bhakti lata is growing, upade, that mad elephant will uproot the bhakti lata, or chinde will cut it. In both the cases, upade व छंडे तार, सुखे जाए पाता, उसके पत्ते सूख जाएंगे, वो मर जाएगी वो भक्ति लता. तो वैष्णव अपराध is very deadly. Everywhere in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always telling this only to everyone. Always chant Hare Krishna, never offend Vaishnavas. Or always chant Hare Krishna and serve the devotees. Like directly, positive side only. Nobody can afford to commit offenses to Vaishnavas. There is one example, and you know that one disciple of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, I think he committed offense to one Mataji or something. I'm not remembering clearly details. So what happened? He was murdered. His head was chopped off. The soul went to Golok Vrindavan, and When the entry point, they said, no, you cannot, because you have committed offense to your guru, and unless guru forgives, you cannot be allowed in Golok. You are allowed, you are qualified, but because of this one thing, you are not. तो देखो इतना level है उसका, गोलोक वृंदावन तक पहुंच गया. So the head comes floating in the water, and morning when Gopal Bhatta Goswami is taking bath, he touches his body, and he says, Guru Maharaj, I am your disciple. I said, only head is there. And then he says that, that I went to Golok Vrindavan, but they are not allowing me because that office. You remember the details?
Yes.
You give him the.
Shri Hit Harivans. Shri Hit Harivans.
I heard this people here, Gopal Bhatta told him to chant Hare Krishna, but they were chanting Radhe Radhe.
Who? The disciple?
They started the whole sampradaya. So,
Name is he. He started. Disciple.
Disciple, again his disciple also chanted Radhe Radhe. So
That
now also-
another sampradaya began,
so
so to say.
So when they went, and actually what happened when Akbar Aurangzeb came, Aurangzeb killed him actually. So this, as you told, his head came and he begged forgiveness from Gopal Bhatta, and then Gopal Bhatta forgave him.
Then he was allowed. So you see, गोलोक वृंदावन पहुंचने के बाद भी if you have some offense, जैसे like you said NOC, no objection certificate. That no objection is only when you have avoided offenses. Otherwise objection. You cannot enter inside.
Maharaj was sick and Madhu Pandit came. So other disciples of Jagadaga Maharaj told that he cannot come inside to meet Maharaj. Maharaj told no, you allow him. So how can you allow him? So he said, if I don't allow, how Krishna will allow?
Some devotee directly suggested in Jagadaga Maharaj, you reject him. He is a disgrace to ISKCON. He is troubling all ISKCON gurus and all nonsense and all that. Maharaj said, no, everybody has rejected him. But if I reject him, what is the hope for him? So Maharaj has not rejected him. That is his greatness. That's why I think he is still continuing. If Maharaj rejects, my God, the whole thing will collapse. Like already many have left his party because they are feeling dryness after offending so many great devotees, followers of Srila Prabhupada. How can they flourish? They will perish. So before perishing only they are leaving him. So one should not commit offense. Yes.
One commits offense due to illusion only, not due to effect of Maya.
Because of superiority complex, because of pride, which is because of ignorance. He has taken association of some materialistic people who filled his mind with some ignorance. Then he commits offenses to devotee. If one is hearing from pure devotee, how will he commit offense? No question. Because pure devotee opens one's eyes. He gives him the real knowledge. Avidya vinashayate. Prema bhakti yaha haite. Avidya vinashayate. Avidya will be destroyed by pure devotee. But one is associating with materialistic person somewhere. That's how he commits offenses.
When he associates with non-devotees, so he will come in the entrance of Maya. Then he will commit offense.
Yeah. He will be illusion. He will be proud. All that. Hearing from pure devotee, how will one be proud? One will be humble. That all songs in the Gurudev, Krupa Vinudaya. He says, what is that? सकले सम्मान करिते शकति देहनाथ जथा जथा तबे तो गाई तो हरि नाम सुखे. There he says, let me be like as you are. So pure devotee is humble. So his disciple who hears from pure devotee will also be humble.
This we can understand. Association is most important.
Yeah. साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि होय लव मात्र साधु संगे सर्व सिद्धि. सर्व शास्त्र को लव मात्र साधु संगे सर्व सिद्धि को. All perfection will be achieved if we are in the right association. Yes. We'll go ahead with the next verse. 8th verse. This is essence of all advice. All the 11 verses of the Nectar of Instruction is this essence of all the Vedic literatures. And in that also, essence of these 11 verses is this, 8th one. So quintessence, essence of the essence. is the 8th verse. That is perfection, what will go, 11, Radhapur. But this is essence. This is what will lead us to reach the perfection. So essence of all advice is utilize one's full time in chanting and remembering the Lord's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila, etc. And this will take you beyond Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti. If you follow this 8th verse, you will reach in Raganuga Bhakti. Very special. The eternal associates of the Lord in Golok Vrindavan are called as Ragatmika devotees, like Yashoda Mai, Nanda Maharaj. These are Ragatmika, Rag Atmika. वो उसी से बने, attachment to Krishna. That is their life. Are always attached to Krishna. Ragatmika. We are not like that. Our makeup is not like that. But we can follow in their footsteps. Raga Anuga. Following the Ragatmika devotees, that we can do. After we do Vidhi, the rules and regulations of Vaidhi Sadhan Bhakti we follow, then we can follow in the footsteps of Ragatmika devotees. And then we are called as Raganuga devotees. Rag, because they have Rag and we follow them. Anug, उनके पीछे पीछे जाते हैं, यानी उनके पदचरणों पे चलते हैं. Then you enter in Raganuga Bhakti, which is very important. So that is the message here in the 8th verse. Essence of all advice, utilize one's full time in chanting and remembering the Lord's Nam, Rup, Guna, Lila, etc. So please repeat after me. Tannama Rupa Charita Disukirtanano Smrutyoho Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishtan Vraje Tadanuragi Jananugami Alam Nayet Akhilamiti Upadesha Saram. So last line he says Kalam Nayet. This is how one should spend one's time. Akhilam iti upadesha saram. This is the all upadeshon का ये सार है, यानी सार का भी सार है. Quintessence, essence of the essence. What we are supposed to do? How to spend time? Tan Naam, Tan is Tat, that Lord Krishna. His name, form, charit, his character, qualities, Adi, Naam, Rup, Guna, Lila, Ityadi. Sukirtananu. One should do nice kirtan. Always discuss, chant this thing. Smrutyo, Anusmruti. Smruti ke baad Smruti. Anu of the first line will go in the second line. Anusmruti. And then remembering. If you always do this chanting of Krishna's name, fame, qualities, pastime, then you will develop remembrance. More you hear about Krishna, more you will speak about Krishna. The more you speak about Krishna, more you will remember Krishna. So, Anusmrutyo, Kramena, step by step. Rasana, Manasi Niyojya. Rasana means tongue. Will be fixed in the mind. Mind is fixed on Krishna. So, dono ka proper combination. Just like we may chant Hare Krishna with the tongue, but the mind is not thinking of Krishna. Kyunki mind is not pure. Malina haile man nahi. Krishna Rasmaran. The mind is contaminated. But now this mind, remembrance stage has been reached. He is always remembering Krishna. So mind and tongue are in collaboration. Tongue is chanting Hare Krishna and the mind is also thinking of Hare Krishna, Radha and Krishna. So that will happen for him. Manasi Niyojya, Tishtan Vraje, one should reside in Shri Vrindavan Dham. And there what to do? Tad Anuragi Jananugami. There Lord Krishna's eternal associates, those who are followers, those who have that raga. So we should follow in their footsteps. Tad Anuragi Jana Anugami. So all the pure devotees of the Lord residing in Vrindavan, serving the Lord, we should follow in their footsteps. This is how one should spend one's time. So the translation is, the essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day. Hari bol, ready? ये प्लेसमेंट का क्या होगा? No, ISKCON placement. What is that? Sundarshyam विचिंतय. What is that? कृपया तव पाद पंकज स्थित भूमि सदृशम विचिंतय. Please place me, placement. Please place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Then it is possible. 24 hours a day. One should utilize one's full time 24 hours a day in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastime, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja, Golok Vrindavan Dham. Directly Prabhupada says Golok Vrindavan Dham. Generally we call this as Gokul, but Prabhupada is direct Golok Vrindavan. Will do. And serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. That's why hearing from pure devotee is very important, spiritual master. Because one should serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. And the topmost devotee is one spiritual master who is Vrajavasi. So we have to follow in the footsteps of Vrajavasi. So we cannot go and follow in the footsteps of current Vrajavasis because they are on very elevated platform. They always Radhe, Radhe, Radhe like that. Like His Holiness Radhanaswami Maharaj has been conducting for years Barsana High Camp. The Vrajavasis who develop cataract and all, they don't have money, there are not enough facilities. So Bombay devotees from Bhaktivedanta Hospital, several of them, I don't know how many, 30, 40 devotees, they all go there, they have set up there, and all these poor Vrajavasis who have cataract problem, they come and free treatment, absolutely no money. And after the and all throughout the treatment is going on, operation is going on by these expert doctors. So then Kirtan is going on because they like to hear Kirtan, Hare Krishna Kirtan. One Kirtan group devotees are also there. And after their operation, then 2-3 more days, that post-operation whatever, when they get discharged, at the discharge time they are given blanket and some other things also because many of them are poor or they don't have blankets and all that. So that is also given because Maharaj wants to serve these Vrajavasis and by their blessing all Krishna conscious advancement, prosperity, everything will flourish. So there these Vrajavasis in the night they are sleeping after operation or before. So in the night the Mataji or some Prabhuji Radhe, 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 whole night Radhe, Radhe. They are so mad for Radharani. They don't know, they are sleeping only. If you go and think, maybe he is disturbed, maybe pain of the operation, something. No, pain वगैरह कुछ नहीं, वो सोए हुए हैं. उनको पता ही नहीं क्या बोल रहे. क्या बोल रहे हैं? राधे, 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 राधे. सोए हुए वो. Pain वगैरह कुछ नहीं. Understood? So they are very elevated personalities. So one should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotee. But we may not be able to understand these devotees very nicely. That's why when this one, Jagdanand Pandit wanted to go to Vrindavan, he sought blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, go, but there in Vrindavan be with Sanatana Goswami. Don't associate with Vrajavasis because they are very exalted in their devotional service. You may not understand their exalted devotional practice. So that's why don't. Just like Purushottam Chaube in Mathura, with whom when Advaita Acharya, when he went to Vrindavan and he was visiting all holy places, when he went to one particular place at the foothill of Dwadash Aditya Tila, on which Krishna climbed up after he was in the coils of Kaliya for around few hours because of cold water of Yamuna river as well as cold body of Kaliya. Krishna was feeling cold, shivering cold. So he goes on the top of Dwadash Aditya Tila where simultaneously 12 suns appeared to heat up the body of Krishna. Dwadash Aditya Tila. Hila. So Lord, and then because of so much of sweating, 12 suns simultaneously, and Krishna got heated up body, and there was so much profuse sweating, the sweat went down the hill, and in Yamuna only formed another small kunda. That is called as Praskandan Kunda. Now it is disappeared, some years back it was visible. So there, Advaita Acharya, at the foothill of Dwadash Aditya Tila, there is one place called as Advaita Vat. That's where below one Vat banyan tree, he got a very beautiful deity of Madan Gopal, which was originally carved by Vajranab, Krishna's great grandson. Krishna's son, Pradyumna's son, Aniruddha. Aniruddha's son, Vajranab. So Vajranab was looking after this part of Vrindavan. And that time he only got these deities carved, several deities. 16 deities around. And that Dauji is also there. So this Madan Gopal was there, but by the effect of time, the deity went underground. Nobody knew. But Advaita Acharya was revealed and he got the deity. He worshipped the deity as long as he stayed in Vrindavan. When he had to go back to Shantipur in Navadvip, then he was wondering what to do with this deity. So then he handed over the deity to Purushottam Chaube, one great devotee of Lord Krishna in Mathura. So Purushottam Chaube was in Vatsalya Ras with Krishna. That means this Madan Gopal. So Purushottam Chaube, he would order Madan Gopal, the deity. Hey, Madan Gopal, come for prasadam. And then Madan Gopal would run out of the house. And he's running behind him with a stick. Hey, Madan Gopal, come back. And all that kind of. He's very exalted. And then his wife also, she also would be doing datun and all that, and she would cook with that and feed Madan Gopal. When Sanatan Goswami was going on the streets of Vrindavan, he was shocked. अरे कैसे माता पिता कैसे husband wife है? He is running behind Madan Gopal to beat him, to get him back, and wife is also on high plane. So he corrected both of them, saying that this is not the way. You have to respect the Lord of the universe. Then they both begged for him. Sorry, we were at fault. We will give royal opulent treatment to the Lord. So that night when Sanatan Goswami slept, Madan Gopal came in his mind. Said, Are Sanatan, what did you do? Both of them are in Vatsalya Ras with me. So they are like my mother and father and they beat me or whatever. Why did you teach all this Dasya Bhakti and all that? Now they are not able to treat me as their son. Now everything is spoiled. So now you do one thing, tomorrow morning you go and get me from them and you worship me. So then Sanatan Goswami said, okay. And there also he comes in the dream of both of them and tells them, I'm very happy with your services. Now I would like to be worshipped by Sanatan Goswami. So please hand me over to him, he will come tomorrow. So Sanatan Goswami is given the deity of Madan Gopal, and that Madan Gopal only eventually became famous by the name Madan Mohan. But why I told all this? What was the point? So the Brajavasis are of very high level. You can imagine. Can you understand how Purushottam Chaube is running behind Krishna, Madan Gopal, like that. So we cannot understand Brajavasis so easily. So we should follow in the footsteps of our spiritual master, who is our Brajavasi. Similarly, Prabhupada is also considered Brajavasi by many Brajavasis, almost all. They say he took Krishna all over the world. Brajavasis are mad for Krishna. So this Swamiji, he took Krishna all over the world, and in fact he established Vrindavan also, new Vrindavan. When his only Radhanath Swami Maharaj was so much in love with Vrindavan, and then ultimately he had to leave India because the visa, all that was over. So he was thinking what to do. He was told he had heard about New Vrindavan, but particularly some Brajavasis whom he was so close to, they told him, oh, no problem, if you have to go to America, you can be in New Vrindavan. Your Guru Maharaj, Swami Maharaj, he has established Vrindavan, we heard in America somewhere, it's called Nava Vrindavan, New Vrindavan. So you can be in that Vrindavan, this Vrindavan, not different. So then Maharaj flies to somewhere, New York or somewhere, and then eventually he goes to New Vrindavan. So we should follow in the footsteps of pure devotees, spiritual masters. Serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. We should not directly go to Brajavasis. We will be confused, we will be bewildered. They perform Ravanuga Bhakti and very high. We need our spiritual master. He knows we are sadhakas, and he is on a very high platform, Bhava Bhakti, Prem Bhakti. So he can guide us, and he has been Raganuga Bhakta. So him following him is very safe. Purport: since the mind may be one's enemy or one's friend, one has to train the mind to become his friend. Next line, if you want, you can underline. The Krishna consciousness movement is especially meant for training the mind to be always engaged in Krishna's business. That means Krishna's service. This is also purpose of ISKCON. The mind contains hundreds and thousands of impressions, not only of this life, but also of many, many lives of the past. These impressions sometimes come in contact with one another and produce contradictory pictures. So one lifetime we might have seen gold, another lifetime, in this lifetime we have seen mountain. So in the mind you will see golden mountain. So contradictory things will happen. Another thing is, some lifetime you might have been on Sumeru mountain as a demigod. तो गोल्डन माउंटेन भी देखा है आपने, तो ऑल पॉसिबिलिटीज आर देयर. That king in the night dream, he saw that he had become butterfly and he was going from one, he went to one flower and he sat there. It had lot of honey, got intoxicated, then flew from there to another flower, then sucked some honey from there. And the dream went for so many hours, more or less whole night. Morning when he got up, he was thinking, am I the king thinking that I am the butterfly? Or am I the butterfly in dream thinking I am the king? What is the truth? So he was so confused. After taking bath, he came to court and he had all his ministers and all. He told the whole dream for 1 or 2 hours. Then I went to that flower. It was so nice. It was reddish, so attractive. Then I sucked the honey. He described so long, and then he asked the ministers. So I am not clear. Am I the king thinking that I am the butterfly? Or am I the butterfly in dream thinking I am the king? What do you all say? So they also heard the dream so long, so they also got bewildered. Yeah, could it be that he is butterfly only, but in dream he is thinking he is the king? They all confused. So they were not able to answer. What is the answer? Neither the king in dream thinking he is butterfly, nor is a butterfly in dream thinking he is the king. He is neither butterfly nor king, he is the soul. Jivera Swarupa hai. Krishna and Nityadas, he is eternal servant of Krishna. But forgetting Krishna, in long dream he is thinking he is king. And in that big dream, he has a small dream in which he thinks he is the butterfly. One is a big dream, one is small dream. Long duration dream, small duration dream. Both are dreams only. So this is how our mind works. All these previous impressions, they mix with each other and produce contradictory pictures. In this way, the mind's function can become dangerous for a condition. So students of psychology are aware of mind's various psychological changes. There are many of these psychiatrists in America and many other places. So many confused cases come when they present their problem of the mind, and then I also have seen some devotees also. Prabhu, वो मेरे पीछे पड़ा है. कौन पीछे पड़ा है? वो devotee. कौन सा devotee? He was crazy. Devotees, sometimes brahmacharis also. Mind is very dangerous. One devotee, my senior, he told Rajesh, वो कंपनी में कोई मुझे मर्डर करना चाहता है. राजेश, कौन मर्डर करना? कोई तो है, ऐसा मुझे लग रहा है. कौन है लेकिन? नहीं, but I am scared. God, that went on for so many months. Ultimately, he gave up the job, and he was there. So much mind can create. And that's how people commit suicide, people become hippies. All these mind's problems only. We all also will face in counseling youth in the hostel. And when they become brahmacharis also, them. Especially in that Ekadashi to Purnima and Ekadashi to Amavasya, the moon, so it affects the mind. So be careful, don't look at the moon and chant more rounds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Be engaged in positive spiritual activities unlimitedly. Otherwise, your mind will trouble you a lot. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Yam Yam Api Smaran Bhavam, that whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. At the time of death, the mind and intelligence of a living entity create the subtle form of a certain type of body for the next life. If the mind suddenly thinks of something not very congenial, one has to take a corresponding birth in the next life. On the other hand, if one can think of Krishna at the time of death, he can be transferred to the spiritual world, Golokunda. This process of transmigration is very subtle. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami advises devotees to train their minds in order that they will be unable to remember anything other than Krishna. Similarly, the tongue should be trained to speak only of Krishna and to taste only Krishna Prasad. Srila Rupa Goswami further advises Tishtan Brajai. One should live in Vrindavan or any part of Brajabhumi. So you saw he covered three things, Prabhupada. He spoke philosophy also. So, what is it? Tan Nama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtanama. Mind should be always engaged in Krishna conscious activities. The mind should be trained in such a way that it is unable to think of anything other than Krishna. and then Tishtan Raje Tadan